Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Isaiah with Wood, Brass, and Glass. Today for this video, I just want to give a kind of a brief update of where I've been for the last couple months, mainly focusing on rare earth discs. So join me and I'll go through everything I've been up to, all the cutting, the grinding, the milling, the weighing, and also going to be doing a press fitting into the dielectric nylon layers. So stay tuned. Okay, for starters, I've been getting these rare earth rods from a Chinese manufacturer. They're 80% rare earth and 15% iron, 5% magnesium. These are basically, everybody else would know these as fire starter rods. The only difference between traditional ones and the ones I'm getting, traditional ones have mainly just magnesium as the main ingredient. Mine only has 5%. The main ingredient is rare earth materials. Now I know this because they gave me a full certification sheet of every mineral and every metal that's inside these rods, and 80% of them is all rare earth materials, neodymium, and many other lanthanide type metals. They press it, and however they fabricate into a very nice shiny metal. And what I do is I take these rods and then I have a special holder such as this. This is the actual one. I get the rod inside of it. Now this is milled to be exactly 0.805. So this rod's a little short. This is the experimental rod, so it's a little more, not shorter, narrower. And I get this located in here, put the rod into the right depth, and just merely clamp the whole thing down. Depth stop is correct. Now this bandsaw is all water cooled, and I'll show you briefly how I do it. So if you do notice, one of these sides, my technique is I finish each side of this rod off on the lathe, so it's precisely machined down. It goes into the holder right there. Now I have a depth set. So I 3D printed out of carbon fiber. So I know exactly where I want this to set, right there. Just slightly tighten that down. Release the gas, the liquid piston. Now, if I don't do water coolant, of course this thing is going to spark like mad because it's made to spark and start fires. So I'll demonstrate. That's without the water coolant. Really bad for the blade, right? So I have to constantly keep water on it. So I did this so far for 471 pieces. And it takes just a few moments, and this cuts through very easily, easier than aluminum. I'd say it's more like cutting through wood, essentially, or hard plastic. Cuts through that. Cool, okay. I 3D printed this grate, special grate. And here's my half finished segment. Clean on one side. This other side is very smooth, but it's rough cut. So I take this one disc. I got this beautiful setup on the lathe. This is the enclosure. This is the enclosure for putting the disc into the collet fixture. This is a precisely cut collet inside of here. It's not just a 3/4 collet. It's made to house the 0.82 inch wide discs. Now these are the wrong size. These were the test ones. The correct size are all the ones I've used up here. So I gotta get my rod. But for the sake of the video, I put the segment into here. So that is inside the collet holder. Nice, huh? Okay. And then very sharp turning boring bar, but I think this is a left-hand cutting boring bar. And then I have these notated on the dial fixture for what setting is where to stop. So once I get it down to about 13 grams, you know, within 1/10 of a gram, like 13.10 or 13.05 grams, I take this disc out after turning it. So I'll just turn it on just for demonstration purposes. Now, the issue with this, you gotta let it soak and get wet for a while. I like to pre-wet it because when this sucker sparks, everything likes to start on fire if it's not wet. So, lots of coolant. All right, here we go. So let's just say this is finished for sake of conversation. Now this stuff is very, very lightly magnetic, so I can use one of these strong neodymium magnets and barely pick it up. It's just enough to wiggle it out without dropping the thing. If this was steel or something, it would just grab onto it, but this is barely magnetized. Look at this. That was from yesterday. It oxidizes incredibly fast. So I can take that, clean it up real fast. Look at this, pretty, very pretty. Okay, let's bring this over here. So then I have the scale to weigh every section to get it within. I'm having accuracy of like about 0.02 plus or minus. So I merely just get onto here and then check the weight, zero out the scale. So this segment is 13.68, 13.67. I'm not gonna keep going on this, but the other segments I have within about 0.02 accuracy. I like to get them right at 13. So I keep doing this. Sometimes I'll stick it on the lathe if it's just going to take too much time to sand it. But if it's, you know, within quarter of a gram, I'll just hand sand it. It'll take a few minutes. Then I add it to the list of here, just grow it. So right when I fill all these up and get to this one here, that'd be 528 discs. So for all of these, now you'll notice these are a little thicker. That's okay. These were the end ones. I couldn't cut down with the saw, but I'll cut these down with the lathe. This is, once I fill up to here, will be 528 pieces. All these are half cut, meaning one side is finished and finished on the lathe. The other side is just rough cut. So I flip it around, cut it just like I showed you guys, and then do the final machining and sanding down to 13 grams. So basically, once I get the 528 pieces, what I'll do is I'll take it to the press fixture and push it on between this nylon segment. And this is the nylon insulator. So let's take this segment over and press it into one of these pieces of nylon. Come on, little guy, let's go. Let's go. Walk over here, walk with me, walk with me. Oh yes, Sonic games. When I was a kid, I loved Sonic the Hedgehog. Anybody else out there love Sonic? I also got Mario to play in the background there too. So, I'm not sure what the rating on this is. It's probably 2,000 pounds. What is this? Yeah, 2,000 pound arbor press. I got it cheap on a garage sale. So let's boost up the color or the brightness. There we go. Yeah, Sonic can take a break. So I got this little guy. You know, all these nylon segments, this is nylon 6. I 3D printed all of them, over 600 segments. Just get it centered. Now this one's a little thicker, of course, so it's going to be a little taller than this segment because this is not a finished puck. So I'm noticing with these, there's a little bit of a flare out with the nylon. So these were just test segments. These are not going to be the final result. And unfortunately, they do not weigh the correct weight. They're less than 2 grams for these. They need to be 4. Now, much like these Teflon roller rings, these are about 4 grams, right at 4 grams. So I'm gonna have to order for the manufacturer a whole new batch of 600 of these Teflon rings because the 3D print ones won't work, but they're good practice test dummies. So essentially that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'll have to get around this little flare out, but the Teflon behaves a little different than 3D print. Of course, you can't 3D print Teflon. But that's essentially what I'm going to be doing. Make sure they're all flat on the bottom, flat across on top. So that's basically what I've been up to for the last couple months. Mainly focusing on cutting out the discs, machining them by my estimations, because I'm working about 12 to 14 hours, 6 days a week, and sometimes 7 days a week. I'm hoping that I can complete these within the next 6 weeks. If I can spend about an hour and a half per night, and then have maybe, if I take 1 day off, and then spend 6 hours on that day, that will help speed it up even more. And I've been trying to do that, just spend many, many hours on a day off, and then 1 or 2 hours per night on the weekdays. But some nights it's more, some days it's nothing. This is what I've been up to. It's very exciting, and I'm very happy these are turning out so well. I did have a massive pile of debris after using the saw and lit it all on fire, which I'll include a clip right here. So otherwise, I'm gonna keep updating here. I'm gonna try to shoot for once a week. This 2-month gap was not good. So I'm gonna continue to update you all. And I am working on right now, currently later tonight, on a new type of magnetizing module. So I'll be making a post once I get it printed out of that current design. Also studying, which I need to post soon, about magnetic bubbles, learning more about those, the ideas behind them, what they are, what they aren't. Trying to nail down magnetic bubbles. And I believe I've seen that in the past with my experiments, but they're, I just really haven't been able to find much information on the internet, even theoretically what they are. I really want to nail down exactly what magnetic bubbles are and what they aren't. Because in this system, on the stator rings and within the rollers, there seems to be the presence of magnetic bubbles. So that's another avenue I'm really investigating, along with the magnetizing jigs for the rollers and the stators. So it's very exciting. Also want to ask you all, join me on Patreon. I post there a bit more frequently than I do here. And I also have a members section where I share private content such as blueprints, and then I also share the law of squares formulas I've discovered, and a lot of pictures here I don't share on YouTube, just quick updates that don't go on YouTube here. So follow me on there. I'm also creating an Instagram channel and our Instagram page, and I'll be posting just a lot of daily content, little things, little just talks and blurbs. So that's coming out here pretty quick. So join me on that, and I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. God bless.